You're not listening.
Let me finish. She worshipped him. There are similar other people in the Gospels who also worshipped Jesus.
David was
now,
worshipped.
If you are a man, if you're an angel, and you fear God, the first thing you do if somebody begins to worship you, you say, don't do that. If you're a man who fears God, if you're an angel and you love and you fear God, as soon as a man begins to worship you, the first thing you do is, don't do that. Jesus, however, is worshipped a number of times in the Gospels, including Matthew chapter 15. And he never stops the woman, he never stops anybody else.
Yeah? Are other people in the Bible worshipped? Like David? Is David worshipped in the Bible?
I don't know, you'd have to show me that.
Yeah.
Show me that. Wait, David is worshipped.
I'll show you. And you tell me whether David is more...
But David was a man, right?
Yes.
And David was the son of Jesse, right?
This is what I'm...
We knew his mom and his dad, right?
That's
David.
beside the point.
We knew that he was a king. We knew that before he became king, he was a shepherd. We knew that he fought for Saul. We knew that he killed hundreds of people, right? David. So when you say David was worshipped...
Okay. Oh, trouble.
So when you say David was worshipped,
Yes.
look at David's background, look at his context.
No. Listen.
Wait, what do you mean no?
Hold on a second, hold on. The context here...
You again.
We're looking at the word worship. We're not concerned about David's CV.
Yeah, we are, because you're bringing up David, and you're equivocating Jesus being worshipped in David.
Yes, right. So that makes it even worse for you. If you're telling me he killed people and all this and he's worshipped, isn't that worse?
Is David God?
Well, according to your criteria, he is.
Has you ever met a Christian or Jew that says David is God?
According to your criteria,
Yes or no? Yes or no?
According to the criteria you put down, he's God.
Have you ever met a Christian or Jew who says David is God? Okay.
According to your criteria,
so you're not meeting one
from
today.
Matthew 15
So wait a second. Let's just get it straight. You're not meeting a Christian today who says David is God. You are the one that's bringing David in to basically give some kind of equivocation. And I'm saying to you, the woman in Matthew chapter 15, she worshipped. Number one. Two, there are other people in the whole Gospels that worshipped Jesus.
Right. Okay.
Do you accept that?
Before worshipping Jesus, like you say,
Do you accept that?
No, you cannot put words in my mouth.
No. Do you accept that Jesus was
It's
worshipped
not
in
going
the
anywhere because what you're trying to do, you're trying to conduct it your own way.
No, not at all.
I'm answering my way.
But you need to answer the question.
If you're telling me the woman worshipped him, the word is in English, worship, right? Yeah. So you're telling me that she worshipped him, Jesus didn't do anything, he means he's God. Then David is more worthy of being a God. He was worshipped while he was on the throne.
So, here's what I'm going to say again to you.
Who's God?
Do you know anyone from Jew?
You're on the phone, yeah.
Do you know any Jew?
I'll give you the
No. I know the reference. I know the reference where you're going to. Yeah, I do. I know the reference.
Should we read it?
If you want to. Sure.
If you want people watching.
Sure.
Not the Jesus, David.
This is David, right?
I think it's Psalm 7.
Which book?
Psalm 7.
I know the reference, but I don't know where the reference is.
Just, can you search it?
Yeah, here.
You're like the ninja cameraman.
I've got your back, that's why. I've got your back.
Why do you record them?
I've got your back.
Why? Why do you want to record other people?
Everybody record.
Speaker's corner. But we're not. I don't understand why the gentleman brings up David
You know
when
why?
we're talking
You
about
do
the
understand.
woman. No, I
That's
don't. No, I don't.
If the woman worship Jesus makes Jesus
me.
God, then David is God.
Excuse me.
Worshipped as well.
Well, I began with you this subject that we were talking a few weeks ago with Paul Williams, and I was telling you
I
that
wasn't
you.
here.
I know.
I wasn't here for
I never
several
brought in
weeks.
David. You are the one that brought in
How you
David.
been, by the way?
You have a reason why you want to bring on some false equivocation with David.
It's not false.
Okay, it's not false. Then
If the
what I'm
word
simply saying
worship
to you.
Jesus makes him God, then the worship, but David should make him God.
Okay, let's go with what you're saying. Let's say you're right. Let's say you're right. Yeah? Let's say you're right. Let's go with what you're saying. Let's say, yeah, you're right. David was worshipped. Now, let's come back to Jesus. Shall we? Is that okay?
So,
Is that okay? Can we come back to Jesus now? Can we come back to Jesus now? Can we
when you
do...
come back to Jesus,
Hold on.
do you accept the word worship does not mean that the person is God?
Wait.
You accept that?
Well, let's just put it this way, yeah? In all the Gospels, Jesus is worshipped.
Which gospel? Give me a reference from. Give me a reference from Luke.
Luke's gospel, that Jesus is worshipped. This is going to be one of those long conversations, because if every time we're going to basically just start looking for
You have
claim.
to be consistent.
Yeah, when somebody makes a
If the
claim, so
word
you have to
worship
show.
for Jesus means he's God. The word worship for David should mean he's God as well.
I've already said to you, let's go with your. To me, it's a nonsensical argument, but let's go with your argument and say, Jesus, you're the.
Open Daniel 2:46. Daniel 2:46. And Daniel is being worshipped as well, not only David.
Okay.
Daniel as well is being worshipped.
I don't understand why you're bringing Old Testament saints into this. We're not talking.
According to you. If anyone being worshipped, that means God. That's why you're saying to us.
No, that's not what I said. I never came with that. So you are bringing in a false equivocation.
The woman worships
Yeah?
Jesus, makes him God.
Now,
I give it to you. Daniel 46.
it's like you men that are desperate, man. It's like you bring in another argument totally.
You have to be consistent. If you're telling me that's a tree, that's always a tree. You can't come back and say, no, that's a car.
Let me read to you.
That's what you
Can I
do.
read to you a few verses? Would you mind if I read to you some verses?
Are we on the same
Wait,
point?
just a minute.
We're talking about worship, right?
Are we talking about Jesus?
Okay,
Matthew 15?
read your verse, and then I'm going to read my verses.
Hashim 2:46.
Yes, Daniel 2:46 is
There you go.
Okay.
Look at 1:23.
So Solomon sat on the throne of the Lord as king in place of his father David.
several verses.
Prospered, and all Israel they worshipped him and obeyed him. Some verses say obeyed him.
And all Israel worships him.
Solomon
What
wasn't a
makes
god,
Jesus
right?
God in Matthew 15?
Right.
But he was
So let's define this. Let's define it. Now I'm going to read to you some verses. Do you mind?
Are you going to answer the question or are you going to do whatever you want?
I'm going to read to you the verses. Then I'm going to
what's my
respond to
question?
you. Your question is, because Jesus was worshipped, does that make him God?
No, that's not my question.
Then what's your question now then?
My question is, if that doesn't make Solomon God, why do you say this
Okay.
worship makes Jesus God?
Okay, so now I'm going to read to you some verses to prove to you why Jesus is God. Yeah? And why he was worshipped. Yes?
It's to do with this.
Now,
what we're discussing.
now, we start from Matthew. There are quite a few, but we'll start from Matthew. So, Matthew 2:2. This was the
I don't understand what you're doing.
I'm going to
asking
show you.
No, this is specific. You're trying to play games here. I said to you, Matthew 15.
Are you a game that I should play?
No, you're playing your own games.
What game am I playing?
So, I've asked you. You made the claim that worship in Matthew 15 shows Jesus is God.
No,
Now
I
you're going in that
never said it. I've never said any such thing. Show me where it is. Stop the phone. Stop the camera. I'll stop. You show me where I've just said that.
You said the woman worshipped him.
Yes.
That makes him God.
I never said that it makes him God. I said she worshipped him. I told you that's what me and Paul were talking
I
about.
asked you, does that make him God?
You may have said that, but I never responded to you. So now you're conflating the issue.
Okay, so it doesn't make him God. He's not God.
We haven't come to that yet.
Why are
We
you
just
going to other verses to prove his God?
first of all, we've been talking about worship.
So why are you going to other
Right?
verses?
See, I could come to you and say to you, why do Muslims worship the Kaaba? Does that make the Kaaba God? I could listen. I can conflate the issue, but so far I'm dealing specifically with the word worship.
Why,
and with
why,
Jesus.
why are you
You-
going to other verses to show me his God?
Because these are all about Jesus. You're the one that brought up another person. David, Solomon, Daniel. I'm building Jesus. Now, can I finish reading the verses?
Listen. Whatever
You don't want me to read the verses, do you?
You know your tactics you're playing.
What tactics am I
They're
playing?
childish.
Sure,
I'm
what
not gonna
tactics am I
fall for
playing?
them. I'm not gonna fall
What do you not fall for?
You trying to make a point. When you're stuck, you go somewhere else.
What am I stuck with?
Now we've established
What
the
have
word
we established? And
Let
what
me
am I
finish.
stuck
Let
with?
me finish. You'll understand. We've established the word worship in Matthew 15 does not make Jesus God. Now you're going somewhere else.
When did we establish that?
Did you not agree with me?
No, I didn't agree with
That's
you.
another lie. That's another lie.
So, let me get this straight. I came to you. I spoke to you about worship. I talked about me and Paul. We talked about worship. Then I was about to give you my verse, right? I said to you Matthew chapter 15. Wait. I said Matthew chapter 15 that the woman worshipped him. Then, because you thought of something bright, the first thing you did, The first thing you did was you brought in David. The first thing you did was you brought in David. Then you began to bring in
But why
Solomon.
did you want to?
Hold on.
Are you going to be an honest Christian or dishonest Christian?
Hold on, listen.
Why did you bring
I'm
in
not
Matthew
I don't give a
15?
monkey's what you call me, what you do your videos. I don't care. I don't care what you think about me. What I'm trying to establish is here, and I think you know the depth of this.
I know you're
We
gay.
never talked about
I know you're
God.
gay. Yeah.
We talked about the word worship.
What do you want to talk about worship?
Worship. Now I mentioned the word Jesus. Jesus was worshipped in Matthew chapter 15.
What does it supposed to mean?
Hold on.
What does it supposed to
So
mean?
I asked him, I said, well, wait a second, why do Muslims and Islam say that Jesus is racist? Why do they say that?
I said your Bible said that.
That. Stop.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I know. But see, when I was debating with Paul, I was talking to Paul a couple of weeks ago.
Jesus is
and
word elevated in the
Paul was saying that Jesus is racist.
We don't say it.
No, listen. Today, when I'm talking to him now, he's clarifying. He's saying, no. Jesus isn't racist. Our Bible says he's racist.
Yeah.
Paul never said that a couple of weeks ago. And I understand his point.
He's on that side.
I know.
He's not here to talk about.
Right.
That's what I said.
So when I use the word worship now, all of a sudden...
Okay, what do you mean about worship?
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
That's the question.
I don't bring up...
Back to normal.
Right.
Back
So
to
I don't
track,
bring
yeah?
up David. I don't bring up Mary.
What do you mean about
Right.
the woman worship Jesus?
Right. So why did this woman worship Jesus?
Because she paid him honor. Like, because he's a prophet, he's a Messiah.
Okay.
Worship is... What do you mean?
I don't want to be on camera because these guys,
Why not?
they're living their... Okay, let's stand over here.
Why not?
Because I don't like the fact that they are... Do you deal with it, or you gonna...
Why not in the camera?
Okay, you can be on camera.
Inform people.
You can be on the film. You can be on film.
Why not? You don't want to be on the
Because I choose not to.
Why?
I don't have to give a why. I choose not to. When you choose something, you don't have to give a
Are you
reason.
worried to be exposed?